It used to be all the activities were downtown. I think we had suburban flight where people went out to the suburbs to kind of get away from the traffic. But what they found is once you're out in the suburbs and you're home, there's nothing to do. You have to get in your car and drive back into the cities or towns or whatever to have activity. Everything's in walking distance. With the loft living, I just think it's an exciting time, and the market is ripe. The city, which held 100,000 people at one time, is just perfect to be revitalized and grown in that area.
First of all, I'd like to commend the economic development team that the mayor put together in the city here. I think he's done a great job attracting businessmen to come in and invest in the city. And I'd also like to thank the local business people that are putting their money back into their buildings, fixing them up, and staying in Utica, New York, and being a great citizen, because we need people, we need entrepreneurs to come into our city, and we have a lot of local ones here that are doing a wonderful job for us, and I really appreciate everything they do.
For me, downtown has been a real big boom because of private development. People have said, the hell with it. This city is my city and I'm going to make it work here. And that's a proud moment for Utica, that we have our young talent, and we've always said that. We want to educate our kids here and then bring them back here. And now we're doing it, and that's the kind of thing that we've had. I think the role of government always is to help when needed, but get out of the way when you don't. And that is a perfect example of downtown, where government has gotten out of the way for the most part, and they've let things organically happen. Now it's our job, like I said, to help when needed and get out of the way.
I attribute the downtown growth to the eclectic spirit of Uticans in general. Over the course of my lifetime, what I've learned is no matter what's thrown at a Utican, you will take what you have and make something out of it. And over the last 15 years, very quietly and very steadily, Uticans were buying buildings and redeveloping them. You see that in every single 1 or 2 block redevelopment where there's a private individual who didn't want to give up, took a risk, and did something. And when that succeeds, when opportunity meets an idea in like the private sector, you cannot replicate that any other way.
Being a retired Navy man, I've been in Portsmouth, Virginia, and they have a harborside place right there in the bay, and they have all the eateries. It's thriving. It's thriving. You have, the oyster bar, you have the taco bar, you have it all, and people just spend the whole day there on the boardwalk, looking at the water and everything else. And the new motels coming down.
The harbor is something that we could pull outsiders in to attract. I think would be great down there are some things that we've heard of and that we really hope that will come to fruition. An amphitheater for outdoor live concerts. Even, I know Broadway Theater League with Derek Clark and the Broadway Utica folks, they could do some plays in the park, like Central Park. So that would be a big deal. I know an indoor water park has been talked about. Those things are really, really massive family entertainment things that we don't have a lot of around here.
I think with some of the things that's going on down there now with the new hotels, with the signage of the city, it's starting to really come to reality. I think, that's what I hope at least. I don't know if you've ever been to Pittsburgh, but their harbor area is just absolutely gorgeous. So I think people who are passing through this area certainly will exit off the thruway and visit our area.
It's a harbor, finish the walls, we've got the entrance complete, get the boat launch up and running again, create a situation where we can get boat traffic in and out of there for docks, and what you'll end up seeing is actual commerce on the canal between Sylvan Beach and Utica, New York.
Just like what we're doing with the Harbor Point, I think what we need to do with that area there is put it out to some developers out there and get some ideas from them. The majority of your ideas on any type of economic development come from the actual developers themselves. So let's put it out to them, see what they come up with, and see what type of plan they got for us. That land there needs to generate taxes for the city.
That Nexus Center is going to bring much more than just hockey. It's going to bring athleticism, it's going to bring economic development, and again, it's going to bring people off the thruway and get them here to one of the greatest, I think, by the drawings and by the vision, one of the greatest sports centers that we can possibly imagine right here in downtown Utica.
What I really like about this is a collaboration with the city, the county, as well as the private contractor out there that would like to put this whole sports complex together. I think it's just wonderful. When you can do that and work with all these different people smoothly, the way it's been going lately, you'll see how that things work out, and then other people are going to want to do the same thing with us.
We have a city budget that's always fragile. So what we have to do is we have to get creative with revenue increases. And that doesn't mean fines and taxes. That means codes violations, things like that. How do we really succumb to collecting that money? How do we make sure that taxes are paid on time? There are other financial institutions and places that can help that we really have to kind of try to tackle in a outside the box kind of way. So while we do that, we have to kind of make sure that our expenses and revenues, the ones that we are expecting to do and to expend, those things are really kind of kept in line. I mean, it's a day-to-day process. It's not just in March do we pay attention to the budget. This is a day-to-day thing. We have to get creative in raising revenues and things that don't hit you in your wallet because you're a Utican, because you're a homer. You know, advertising, things like that. There's new and creative ways that I think that we should look into, and I think that we will going forward. The next couple of years are going to be pretty interesting as to how we go.
Next upcoming budget is going to be tough. We have to take a look at our sales tax. We have to see how much money we're going to get back from the county on certain issues. As a councilman, I'm going to, we're going to have to look at it each item, see where we could tighten our belts. It's all about economic development.
I'm confident that the mayor is going to submit a budget that's bare. I think he recognizes the needs of the city. I think he also recognizes the taxpayers' finances. So one thing I'm confident about, whatever budget we get, it's going to be a budget that the mayor has looked at and felt that it's a budget that he can sell. I don't think you can cut your way in a city and still maintain its services. Unfortunately, it looks like we're looking at a slight tax increase. We'll certainly try to generate it through the growth of our city. If we can grow the city to the point where more people are paying taxes, then that's going to lessen the burden on everybody else.
The one thing I've kind of stuck on since I got elected in 2013 is the COLA. You know, you got the union employees here, they get pay raises by contract. The non-union don't. And whoever the administration at the time, they can go without a pay raise for 2 or 3 or 4 years. And so I asked that resolution, and put a resolution in for a COLA so the non-union people know what they're getting every year. That way they know they're going to get a pay raise with the cost of living. You got people that are union that work under people that are non-union, making more money than the department heads. Well, that's not right. So the COLA should be enacted. The income is always going up with the economy. Just the way it is. I mean, it'd be fair and firm across the board.
People who are moving into a city, they want to move into a safe city. We have a progressive police force and a progressive fire department with is directly involved with the community, and their presence make people feel safe. I think any area that is going through any kind of revitalization has to have a strong police and fire department. Ours in particular, we have the leadership that's willing to sit down and listen and work out the solutions to problems. So yeah, I think they're a great asset to our city.
I'm a parole officer with the state of New York, so public safety is one of my #1 concerns. Thank God our city of Utica, we have a tremendous police force, a fire department that has won awards in the past. And I feel safe anywhere in the city that I walk. It's very, very important into economic development to people staying in the city. And I invite people from outside the city, come downtown on the weekends, spend some time with some of our restaurants here, see how safe it really is.
You know, the mayor, he's like the commander-in-chief of Utica, and we're like the Congress of it. You got to give them beans, bullets, and Band-Aids to make things happen. And I mean, that's what it's all about. You have to give the troops what they need so they can do the mission.
Public safety's job is to protect us. So our government's job is to protect public safety and their budget and their needs. And you've seen that recently with equipment needs that they've been getting and things like that. So for that, our government should be very proud that we're giving these guys not everything that they need yet, and we're still getting there, but we're working on it. We're working on getting them the equipment that they need. Towards economic development, I think that any time that the public feels safe, they're willing to move somewhere. So if you feel like our services are sufficient enough for you to build a business, to build a family, to build a home, that kind of thing really correlates one to the next in a more direct way. But that's a great question. Public safety is a big part of economic development.
I think that, and I strongly feel this is a strategy, showing people the fact that the police department, the fire department is strong, the DPW keeps the roads clear, that we do have a ski hill in the middle of the city. We have a great zoo, we have great parks, we have an unbelievable municipal golf course. Those are the things we need to talk about, because when you bring your business here, you're not just bringing a business here. It's the people that work there, and they're going to have to live here.
You know, just about when I graduated high school, I joined the Air Force, did my tour in the Air Force, and I joined the Army Reserves. Just about that time there, you know, the bottom fell out. And that was really a bad time. And then this administration, the last couple of administrations have come in, and we've seen such a turnaround in the city. People are proud to come from Utica now. People that come back to Utica, they're so surprised to see how well the city of Utica is doing at this time. So I'm proud to be a Utican, and I'm proud of what this council and what the mayor and his administration have done in the last 4 to 6 years. I only see progress. Things are going to look great. I'm glad I have 2 boys that still are in the area here, and I'm glad my grandchildren are here too, because they're the future of the city.
What we had to do is rebrand our city. We had to believe in our city. We had to have a product out there that people believed in, that we would be able to sell, and we have done that. We reached out to entrepreneurs, developers, not only locally, but outside the city lines. This is what you have to do. You have to actually go out and visit the people and tell them what a great city you do have, and then they'll look at it, they'll have a taste of it. Good things are really happening. So when we look at our downtown, whether it be the HSBC building, which was scheduled for demolition, then you had Mike Pez come in there and invest millions of dollars, and we all know Ocean Blue, whether it be the Rite Aid building, the Catholic bookstore, the Century building, New Century building, Security building, these were all buildings that people said you could never sell. Well, never say never, and this administration obviously is a will-do administration. It's like Nike, just do it. That's what we do. When you talk to these developers that come in here, and the reason why they keep on coming back, and the reason why you get developers that come from Syracuse or from Albany or whatever, it's that feelings out there is that we are a city that is anxious to do business with them. We don't put up the roadblocks. We actually reduce the roadblocks. We make it happen. Now we are becoming a full-fledged neighborhood. It's the hip thing to be is in downtown. We still have ways to go, but there's a feeling we haven't felt in decades, and that's because it's vibrant, it's alive, and people from all ages are enjoying our great downtown. It's been talked about. A lot of other administrations have worked really hard trying to make this happen. We're fortunate at this point. You see the gateway going into the harbor. Water is an attraction, and within a short period of time, we'll do RFPs for our developers, and hopefully within 2 years, you're going to see the economic boom in that area. Water brings the magic in, and we have magic in our city. There are 4 things in there we have no control over. Our overall budget, 90% of it is contractual. We have been very conservative. That has been noted by Tom DiNapoli, our state controller. Throughout the entire year, we meet each and every week. We are extremely conservative. We question every department head what they need, why they need it, and that's where our fund balance has increased because of our surpluses, because we are very conservative. The Nexus Center is extremely exciting. That's going to bring in tourism, that's going to bring in the quality of life we're looking for. And we see the success of the Utica Comets, the Utica Pioneers, how great it is. There's a 5.5 acre land that's over there that, you know, we all wanted to make sure that it is a diamond, that we get the best out of it, whether it's going to be on the property taxes or it's going to bring in revenue by bringing in people from off the Thruway into this area. The fact that we're working together is the key, and I think that's the key for success. First and foremost, for once in this great city, everyone's working together. It doesn't mean that we don't disagree sometimes, but it does mean we go back to the drawing board, we look at compromise, we look at dialogue, what's best for you, the taxpayers. If you don't have the best public safety, you're not going to get the investors because they don't feel comfortable, it's not safe, or it's not clean. And I can look at you at this point and tell you we have the best Utica Police Department that's out there. They're accredited, they're proactive, they're out there on a consistent basis building bridges, and it speaks boldly for the Utica Fire Department. How many times have I heard that you've saved my son, my daughter, my relative at this point? We bring the doctor to your doorsteps. You don't get that all over, so that is a huge opportunity for us. As I told you before, you have to be able to market a product. That public safety brings into the equation of the best that we have. People feel comfortable, they understand that God forbid something happens, the Utica Fire Department's going to be there, not only to put out your fire, not only about hazmat, but to give you the state-of-the-art paramedics at your doorstep. You can't get that any place else. So when I look at the Utica Police Department, the Utica Fire Department, there's no one better in the state other than Utica Fire Department and the Utica Police Department. And kudos goes out to Chief Kelly and Chief Williams. I keep on hearing people saying, you know what, I'm getting that feeling of where we were maybe 50, 60 years ago. That's that great feeling. It's Utica proud, up, we're moving up. Are we complacent to say this is the best we're going to be? Absolutely now. There's no question that there's growth potential in our city. We will continue to do it because it's not going to be just in our downtown area. It's in South Utica, it's in North Utica, it's in East, it's in West. We have a lot going for us. The biggest selling point of our city is you, the most caring, giving people that we have. People see that, they feel it, that's why they want to invest, because we are uniquely different than anybody else. Utica starts with you, and that's a trademark we've had. People believe it, they see it when they come here, and as we walk to this path, we walk together.